What's up, y'all? Message of today is about the mundane. Super exciting! The mundane! But on my way to pick up a check for roofing. This is probably going to be my last check I pick up for roofing. Maybe another 1 to 3 after this, but we'll see. We'll see if they're even home right now. But yeah, y'all. The mundane, like, I can speak from experience on really anything in my life, but you can see my physique is my most credible standpoint. So what gets the best results, it's never a secret. Anytime you see somebody like on social media talk about like how they got wealth, and you can tell they're like a genuine Christian guy, they're like, actually there's like no secret. It's these basics and fundamentals and just getting better at them. That's all it comes down to, is having the basics and fundamentals down and getting as good as possible. Like for business, it's sales, marketing, fulfillment, you know what I mean? And getting better at those things. With fitness, it's just having a good workout program, a good diet, and sticking to that the best way as possible. And literally the best way, like the most scientific way of training, looks so boring on paper. It's just a few exercises, 1 to 2 sets per exercise, lifting close to failure in the 5 to 8 rep range. Like when people see my workout programs, they're like, is this right? And then they end up getting the best progress of their life. And it's so funny that the simplest thing is literally what gets the best results. I used to, when I started working out, doing the craziest things, like all these, I would do hours, like 1 to 2 hours of drop sets, literally with like 1 minute rest. And of course I got results. I was a newbie and I was going hard, so I was going to get results. But I could have done so much less and just done the things that actually worked, and my results would have been even faster. You know what I mean? It's super funny. It's super ironic. But it's really all about doing the simple things, guys. It's 3 full body workouts, 1 to 2 sets per body part, going all the way to failure, or 1 rep from failure in your sets with 2 minute rest. That's the training aspect. As far as it goes with eating, it's number 1, just focus on your calories. If you can't hit your protein, don't even worry about it. Just focus on eating a limited amount of calories, because if the training's on point, you're still going to be building muscle. And the biggest thing is looking great, feeling great. You're not going to gain extra fat, right? Next goal from there, you could say it's either hitting your protein or eating healthy. If it's about health and health's more important than your appearance, then your number 2 goal would be then eating healthy foods that are the closest thing from earth as possible. So if you can afford the organic orange juice, get the organic orange juice. If you can afford the organic berries, or you actually just want to pay for them, because I mean, I think almost anybody can really afford it. It's just about making sacrifices, either working hours you don't want to work, or not binging or spending money on other things, right? But if that's a priority for you, getting the highest quality foods, you know, the meats and things like that, that would be number 2 if health is your goal over appearance. But it could be number 2 or 3 could be flipped based off of that for your protein count, right? So yeah, I'll just say limiting your calories, healthy foods, organic foods, the closest thing to earth, and then 3, hitting your protein for diet. And then for the training, it's 3 full body workouts a week, 1 to 2 heavy sets per body part, 2 to 3 minute rest between those heavy sets. You only need like 1 to 2 warm-up sets. And stretch at the end, y'all. I cannot emphasize that enough. Anytime I stretch at the beginning or middle of my workout, I've always tweaked something or got injured. That's what the study shows, to stretch afterwards, because that joint gets loose. It's easier to move around. If you're moving heavy weight with that, you're cooked. Also takes away the stretch reflex. But yeah, it's mundane. Like that is the whole protocol, basically. Super mundane protocol, but it changes your life. And the thing about it that's so great is it doesn't take long. Like when I work out, I don't really look forward to it like, yes, I'm working out today, because it's a pretty mundane task. Like I used to be absolutely in love with it, but now my goal is more so to maintain. And I've been consistent for 15 years now, almost 15 years. So that's kind of a blessing of being consistent for 15 years, that I can have a goal like that, or even to size down a little bit to get more into modeling, right? But you know, for years it was always put on more size, get leaner, you know what I mean? But I did the mundane task for years to where I can just be at this sort of level. And when people say it's about the job I'm at, it's about the career that I'm running into, it's not about that at all. I mean, I've done this with the most free time in the universe. Like, you know what I mean? I've done this with so much free time, and I've done this with working insane jobs in roofing, you know what I mean? And doing social media on the side and fitness coaching. So those were 80 plus hour weeks some weeks in the springtime, because spring is when hail hit. So that's whenever it was just crazy. So, and I was still getting my workouts in. I was still eating healthy. The ironic thing is I was eating healthier during that season than the roofing season, where it was slower. So it's really a priority thing, and it's not even about perfection, because if you do 60 to 70% of these things right, you're still going to make progress. It's just whenever the higher percentage of those things that you do correctly, the faster you're going to get there. One kid asked me at the gym, he's like, dude, you look like Baki. Baki's like a cartoon character. So he's saying like my physique looks like an anime character, for you guys who don't know who Baki is. He's like, how long did it take to get there? That was his first question. And I've done it naturally. So I was like, about 5 years naturally. And then after that, kind of maintain it. But he's like, man, that's a long time. And it's like, yeah, that's not a bad question to ask. How long does it take to get in that sort of shape? That's not a bad question to ask. It's like, if you're willing to do that to get to that level, then fine. But you're able to get a good physique in 2 years training naturally. You're able to get a really, really good physique in 3 years training naturally. And it's really about putting in 3 hours a week of doing the right things, and also having something that's sustainable. I don't eat clean every day. Whenever I'm locked in, I'm eating healthy food, hitting my protein, and doing my things with the calories, right? But what I do to make sure I have a physique I like is control my calories. That's number one. I do that almost every single day. Almost every single day I'm controlling my calories, except maybe a holiday or birthday, or I'm celebrating something. So like 10 times a year, maybe I don't. But controlling my calories, that's always my number one focus. Then, depending on if I have more of a health or appearance-based goal, my second priority is either hitting my protein or hitting or eating healthy, like organic foods. And that's going to change based off of like that goal for me. Like health or appearance changes like back and forth all the time. So it really just depends on where I'm at in my life. But those factors are so simple, guys. Like every single day, even if you're tracking or not, if you just think, how can I limit my calories? You're going to see just how much it changes your life. Just that literal one question in your head. If you continuously just ask yourself throughout the day whenever you're eating, not even throughout the day, just whenever you're eating, how can I control my calories? Like whenever you're at the soda machine, you get, not instead of a regular Coke, you get a Diet Coke, which still tastes great. Whenever you're getting an acai bowl, you get the one without peanut butter and all that stuff, which maybe could change it from 1,200 calories to 400. And you're still enjoying these foods. You could even go to Taco Bell. You're like, oh, the bean burritos aren't too bad. And I can still like get a size of nacho cheese, right? 500 calories at Taco Bell. You know what I mean? Like, even whenever you're quote unquote messing up, or what would have been messing up in the past, as long as you control your calories. Not every day you're going to eat the healthiest. Not every day you're going to hit your protein goal. But if you control your calories every single day, you're going to have a good physique. And if you're lifting, you do the 3 workouts a week. You know what I mean? And even if you don't hit all 3, if you hit 1 workout a week, you're able to maintain muscle if you're advanced, if it's a full body workout. And if you do 2 workouts a week, even if you're advanced, you're able to gain muscle. So you could do 1 to 2 workouts a week, eat a lot of junk food as long as you're controlling your calories, and still progress. So that's what it's about, guys. Whenever you have the knowledge of how to do this and you just ask yourself those simple questions, that's the way to transform your physique. That's the way to do it. That's how I don't track. You know what I mean? And if I were to track everything, I'd make like probably 5% more progress, which is super small. But like my goal, like I said, is actually to slim down right now. So it's kind of weird, like not going to complete failure in every set in the gym, because it's like, I want to have more of a modeling appearance right now. But yeah, for 99% of other people, you know what I mean? Like, to have those sort of goals, right? You do just literally those things, guys. And you don't have to track it. You just have to have the platform. If you want my help on how to do this, just DM me on Instagram, and we could talk about coaching. But guys, it literally transforms your lives. You can do it tracking. You can do it not tracking. I recommend tracking at first, because most people just have no idea how many calories is in anything. But then you can get to a place to where you're not. And it's in the mundane task. It's in the mundane task. Nothing about it is flashy. but that's whenever you get the flashy result of the beautiful physique. So, yeah.